Are you a business owner or someone looking for more ways and avenues to advertise and promote? Look no further. Contact us today for an advertisement. Email PD&J Media Productions LLC at gmail.com for more info. Promotions are everything. What are you waiting for?
What's good, folks? What's good? How you doing today? It's a different day, but it's still a new week, so you already know what that means. It's a brand new episode of PD&J. What's good today? I'm your host, Jay.
It's always a different day. It's always a different week. But you know what?
We
here.
We coming at him at a different
If you guys wondering, why the hhell is this man wearing a hat
that you
on
can't
March
see.
30th? And then because of the green screen, we can't see, but you can definitely take it. If you're Baltimore, you know what it is. It's opening day, folks. Opening day. And it's pocket representing the Orioles up in this mother. How do you get that out?
You good now? Okay. All right.
And I know some of y'all probably in Bible study, so we're gonna study today too. Just not the Bible.
Our Bible study was Wednesday.
I could be wrong. See,
Anyway, folks, we got a great show for you, so we just gonna jump right into it. I want to talk about
No. I want to talk about beating the Red Sox 10-9. I want to talk about Aaron Judge opening day, first at bat home run. Okay, now I got it out.
You got everything out? You done? Can we proceed with the show?
That's good.
Go ahead, get it out one last time because you got one more in you already.
Let's see. What I want to talk about, I don't want to talk about what I want to talk about.
Please don't talk about it.
All right, I want to talk about it.
All right, so let's just jump right into it, folks. I have a problem right now with what's going on. What the hell is going on in the United States of America?
Can you be more specific for the people that don't understand what you understand?
Okay, so what's going on with this inflation? You want to raise interest rates another, quarter of a percent? You did that. Gas prices are going astronomically high.
Wait. But remember, the comparison is it's not as high as it was last year.
Yeah, that's bullcrap. Not to mention, exactly. Not to mention, let's just be real at it right now. They want to talk about there's jobs available. There's thousands of new jobs being available each and every month, but yet there's hundreds of thousands of people getting laid off every day.
That's what their jobs available.
Shut up. Shut up.
That's why their jobs available.
So why lay them off though?
Because they're lazy.
Not all of them are.
I'm not talking about the people.
Oh, well, elaborate a little bit because they probably won't get it.
Oh yeah, I forgot. We got them people. Huh? All right, so what I'm trying to say, folks, when I say they're lazy, a lot of these companies, their senior leadership, they want to do shortcuts. They don't want to bring in more business, but then they don't want to take a pay cut.
Or they don't want to pay benefits.
And by law, they have to if you're full-time.
If you're full-time, yeah.
Actually, I'm sorry. If you're working at all, even if you're part-time, they have to order or give you some sort of benefit. I remember that now. That's the law. Even if you're part-time, they have to give you some sort of benefit. And they don't want to do that. So what do? They don't trim the fat. They trim just enough off the meat.
They trim the meat.
Just enough off the meat to make an impact. Like, hey, well, we got rid of all these people. Now what we can do?
Well, and let's not even talk about the layoffs. Let's talk about the jobs that are available that's not paying a crap to even deal with the inflation that's going on. Cost of living is getting higher every day.
But the minimum wage ain't. It's amazing.
Exactly.
You know what's funny to me? And you probably agree with this. They raised the minimum wage to quote unquote a better standard. I'm not saying a livable wage, a better standard of what it was. And that's when inflation took the fuck off. Go back and look. When they just made it a thing to raise minimum wage, that's when you saw inflation skyrocket. along with a couple of other things, that you can say that happened, but that right there is a main part of it. Now, how do we combat that? Honestly, how do people been combating it? What do they do? 7, 8 of them living in a 2-bedroom apartment, and then you can do about it. Well, I'm making $10. You making $10. You making $10. I don't want to work 5 jobs. But I have to work 2. So I have a day job and I have a night job.
No time for myself.
None at all. None at all.
But all these jobs want to promote. Well,
they don't want to promote.
No, what I'm saying that they want to be able to promote certain. Well, we want to be able to have a flexible between your life and work.
Work-life balance. Work-life balance. But you know what the biggest thing you
there is no such thing as a work-life balance.
Oh, there is. I can't agree with you there. I cannot agree with you. There is a work-life balance. The thing is, it's up to your leadership in your job to ensure that they're going to enforce the life part, not the work part, because the work is going to be there.
Not when you're working 2 jobs or 3. There are some people out there working 3 jobs.
That's right. But work-life balance is something that you have to figure out what to do.
Yeah.
But at the same time, what I'm talking about is the people that have pretty good paying jobs, right? There are quite a few of us out there, but sit there, they don't balance their life. They put more of their balance into work than life. And then they want to know why things are so uneven. Why are they so tired all the time? Why don't they have time for family? Why do they say so ornery? Because you put yourself in a situation where you decided your job was more important. Yeah. Let me say something to you folks. If you get sick, terminally sick, and you can't work,
your job doesn't care.
Is the buck going to stop moving, or is the buck going to keep going? Better yet,
they'll find somebody to replace you with the quickness.
If you drop dead, and everybody says this, but understand it, let it sink in, drink it, eat it, read the book. If you drop dead, they're going to warn you. They'll send flowers to your funeral. And, if you have the insurance, it's taken care of. 9 times if you die on the job, it's taken care of anyway. But beyond that, the truck keeps moving. They're not going to say, oh, you know what? So-and-so Pocket died. We can't get this done anymore. He knew what to do. Guess what? They'll have somebody to come in. They'll have to train somebody. But guess what? They will train somebody. That person will learn the job. They may not be sufficient at you, but it's going to get done. That's life. So you keep working yourselves to death. You keep doing that. You keep putting your family life aside. You keep not living. And guess what? When you get older, you're going to wish you had them days, them minutes back. But you did that. You put yourself in that. And now I want to say this too. I am not talking to my hourly workers that do that consistently, because you have to. I'm talking about, like I said, the ones that are paid well, salary, or even commission-based people. A lot of times they say, I can't. Put it this way. If you just made an $8,000 commission in the past 2 weeks, or however you get paid, I'm quite sure you taking off a day or two, unless you're living way outside of your means. I'll say that. I'm not because we can talk inflation, but that's something we don't ever talk about too. You think about that. People that always live outside of their means, and all of a sudden inflation happens, guess what? They're way outside their means then.
They get hit with a reality check.
No, they don't get a reality check. You know what they do? They think about how are they gonna get that next dollar. They don't get a reality check. They keep thinking, oh man, I just bought that Tesla or Lexus or whatever you want to call it, or Mercedes. They bought that Mercedes E-Class, whatever, or AMG series. Shoot, the new one is $20,000 more. I gotta get that. All right, so I was supposed to go on failed vacation. I'm not going on that vacation. I'm going to bust my butt to get that commission. Screw the family vacation and get this car. And the whole time your family suffer. Your family life is suffering. Live, folks. Live. You better live. Look at what's going on in the world. I don't want to bring that up, but look what's going out there. Look what just happened last week. It's happening. The world is it's going.
So back to the inflation and things that's going on. Like, I'm trying to figure out how people are actually maintaining, the people that have rents and mortgages and different things of that nature. Like, How are y'all maintaining throughout this? Our comments are open. So
I have a question for the folks. Somebody just pointed to. Whose rent went doubled or tripled since this inflation? Any of you, your rent doubled or tripled or anything like that? That's my question, y'all. I don't want to know how much your rent is. I'm just talking about did your rent hit inflation too?
I'm sure it did. Like I said, our comments are open. So definitely chat with us. We want to see what's going on with y'all today. Speaking of gas prices, I think we touched on this a little bit.
Just for a smidge. We just talked about how it's high, but it's not. And when I watched the news, it was just so funny to me when I was watching the news when we talk about gas. So we're talking about gas prices. And they're like, yeah, gas prices are going back up. Yeah, they are. But they're not as high as they were last year. Like, you really want to compare things to last year? Okay, let's talk about the price of eggs. We were just talking about this before the show.
Yeah.
A carton of milk. Oh, bro, it's not even a carton anymore. We can't say that. We got to say a plastic container of milk. I don't want to offend anybody saying the word carton. Or carton, or whatever it is. What? People get offended on everything. We don't want to offend people. It's opening day. I'm not trying to be that guy.
But you are.
They don't have to know that.
Okay. Anyway, so this is what my theory is on what's going on with the gas prices. I don't think we're going to see any relief within the next 5 years, to be honest with you. They're going to fluctuate, keep coming down, keep going up, keep coming down, keep going up. I think what they're trying to do is they want to force everybody to start buying EV. Now, if you don't know what EV is, it's basically
electric vehicle.
Electric vehicle. That's it. Like your Tesla.
I just want to say, y'all heard him say 5 years, right? So can anybody have a contact in FanDuel? Let's make this a betting game. Over under 5 years. Over under 5 years. Let's go. Who's got it? I'm saying
now, if I hit 5 years, what happened? If my number actually hits, what's gonna happen?
Well, that means you paying for everybody else. So ain't no discount for you. It's your fault.
Man, sad. But what was you gonna say?
What?
You was about to say something. Your number is what?
Oh, I was gonna say 2.5.
You think that soon, huh?
Thing is, it did like this, and we were all excited. And then, well, actually, you know what?
I wasn't even excited. I can't even say I was.
So here's what I want to. I'm looking at a time. Just put a timeline together in my head, which is dangerous. That's a dangerous place to be. Let me just tell you, it's a dangerous place to be.
I don't even go there, but whatever.
Actually, you know what? Oh, shout out to Adrian and Darian. DGAT Design. Shout out to you, man. Says many states are not even going to sell gas cars by 2027. California is the first state. That's less than 5 years, bud.
That's more than 2.5, though.
But it's less than 5.
But it's still more than 2.5, so we're both wrong.
Now, but here's the thing. Your favorite president is the one that started this. You know that, right?
So, blame everything on Obama.
But I'm not blaming it. If you want, we can go pull the stats. Pull when he said electric vehicles, by golly, everyone should have one in their household by 2026. And everybody's been dragging their feet.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's a bad thing not to have an EV.
So I'm glad you mentioned that. Let's talk about science, okay? What's worse than the environment? Gas or a nuclear vehicle?
Just for shits and giggles, I'm gonna say that.
Let's think about this, folks. Let's think about this. So you're telling me an electric vehicle? Think about this. Lithium batteries are very dangerous for the environment. You know those electric bikes? They're blowing up everywhere. They're causing fires all over cities. They're toxic. But let's have an electric vehicle in my house, not a gas vehicle. Gas vehicles, they have a history of blowing up, but not because of gas. Actually, let me take that back.
I was about to say.
No, actually, no, I'm right. I'm right. Because think about this.
Nowadays, you might be right, but when the car first came out, the gas car first came out, nah, buddy, them things was blowing up left and right.
Well, no, that was more or less. You had tire problems. You had the wooden steering.
Shut up. Shut up.
You Incredible Hulk the steering wheel.
That's because they didn't have power steering back then, but whatever. So let's ask the fans though. Let's ask our people. Would you rather have an EV vehicle or would you rather have a gas vehicle, especially at these prices, not even knowing that they're not going back now? We all know that we're never going to see $3.
I will if I keep shopping at Fry's. I will. Them points add up, bro. Them points add up.
I get it, but still, let's just say.
So don't tell me I ain't gonna see no $3 gas. I saw $2.69 the other day. That was like the other day, a few weeks ago, but it was the other day. So you can't tell me, Harpo, I ain't gonna see no cheap gas.
I can't believe you just called me Harpo. Get out this. Get. You're done. You're done. So.
Oh, we got one person said gas. So there you go. You got actually two guys. Actually, you know what? Now I would say that those electric vehicles look really. Vehicle is it gas or is it electric?
I thought it was a hybrid.
No, it's
the
not.
first one, the first self-driving vehicle that came out, or are you talking about now?
I'm talking about the one that's running over people in Scottsdale right now. The Teslas that are running over people, that people are trying to figure out, should Tesla be sued or the person behind the wheel?
Both, actually, in my opinion.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
But
got my vote.
I mean, but even let's just say that you were able to get a gas-friendly car. The way that inflation is going up, there's no way that you can afford it. The way insurance has gone up.
You mean electric? You said gas-friendly.
Yeah.
Electric car.
I mean a gas-friendly. Like if you get something that's good on gas mileage.
No, because I can't agree with you there, because I've even heard from several people that they were looking into getting electric vehicles. And then because of all the electronics in that car, that's when insurance shot way up there. And they were like, well, it's either have this or go back and, have a more sufficient insurance.
Yeah, and that's what you're and even and I'm glad that you mentioned that with insurance, because even insurance right now is becoming ridiculously high, even on your private vehicles. I mean, I don't know about any other states, but here in this state, they're talking about, well, now that COVID's over, the cost of business has gone up. More vehicles on the road equals more accidents. The cost of parts. Should I keep going? But in this state, they increased
one thing. Oh, and the fact that you aren't getting a pay increase, so we might as well hike insurance up.
Yeah. So in this state, they increased it by 11% in this state. I don't know about any other states. I can only speak for this state, but by up to 11%, and that's on all your insurance companies. So nowadays, people that are the hourly workers, paycheck to paycheck at this point, because that's pretty much where everybody is at this point. Now you got to worry about 11% increase on your car insurance when you go to renew it. Come on now.
Oh, I got you one better. Ours kept going up. And I kept saying to my wife, I was like, we need to, get quotes. And it got to the point where it was getting so unfeasible.
Mm-hmm.
We finally got quotes, and we're ended up paying, and she'll correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's almost a 50%, maybe even more different. No, it's more than 50. It was like a 70% difference. Drop.
A drop. Okay.
No, it was going to be the other way if we would have stayed where we were. And
we
ended up shopping, getting a hell of a better deal.
Well, the thing about it,
but who wants to shop insurance every year?
And it's forcing people to go with third-party cut rate insurance companies. You see what I'm saying? Where you don't know if certain things would be covered because other companies it wouldn't be a problem. if that makes sense.
Or I guess to basically help what he's trying to say when he says cut rate insurance companies, because what happens is they have their rate as a kind of like it's the Spirit Airlines of insurance.
Yeah, or Frontier,
whichever one. Well, I say Spirit's worse. I mean, because you got to pay for carry-on.
Well, didn't Spirit just get bought out by JetBlue?
I have no idea.
So therefore, I'm gonna go Frontier because JetBlue is kind of a tier above Frontier.
Well, either way, I'm still talking about school. If you're in the Spirit with me, let me see you raise your hand right now. Let me see you raise your hand in the congregation. If you're with the Spirit with me, just hang out there for a second. Now we're going to talk about the Spirit Airlines in the book of Matthew, Air 69.
I'm about to go.
But no, seriously, Spirit Airlines of insurance. What that basically means is they give you your baseline and it looks real good. But then say you want to add on, so you got your basic car insurance where it covers your car, right? But then you want to have some liability. Oh, we're going to charge you extra for liability.
Or collision.
No, we're going to charge you a little bit more for that.
Or glass.
We're going to charge you a little bit more for that. Keep going. We're going to keep adding it up. And then you're going to realize, well, damn, the only difference is $20.
Yeah, seriously.
And that's what's happening with these cut rate insurances. Mama Mallory watch, I got to behave. Maybe. Just a little bit.
You're not. We both know that.
I am going to behave.
Everybody that's watching right now, never mind. Keep going.
It's opening day. I am behaving as best as possible.
Keep going.
I am behaving. What do you want me to do? What do you want from me?
No, but this insurance thing is getting ridiculous. Like,
it's like, to me,
they're gouging. Like, isn't there there should be a legislation about that?
Well, you know what's funny? All this goes back to one thing: Washington, D.C. Now, we always said, well,
she hearts you.
See, she said I'm behaving.
No, she didn't.
That I know how to read that. Hey, put that back up. No, I'm gonna explain it for you.
No,
it says he is behaving really well.
No, it's not.
That's code.
That's just she hearts you. She loves the show.
Yeah, what it really meant was he is behaving really
What
good.
code are you reading?
What she put on the screen. Bro, you don't understand emojis. I tell you, he don't understand emojis, y'all. We're gonna have to help him out. I know what them emojis said. I know what they said. You can't tell me no different.
Take a drink. Just take a
drink. But understanding these insurances, how things are breaking down. That's the jackass of the week, really. I forgot to talk about that in the meeting, but that's I meant to say that then.
Oh,
that's a jackass. I mean, there's no way. Well, actually, we got another one to go along with that, but it's more of a sad story. But that one right there takes it from me because it's just there's no reason why you should have to shop your insurance every year. There is just no reason why. You should be able to be comfortable and set. And yeah, we expect it to go up.
There's no way that your car insurance payment should be more than your car note.
If that's happening, then there's something. Well, and actually, you know what? That goes back to the electric vehicle statement. That's why I was saying there are people I know that are looking at electrical vehicles and they wanted to get them, but when they saw the insurance payment, that was the issue. The insurance payment was going to be either at or above the car payment.
No, there's no way.
No
way.
Show of hands who would like to have their insurance more than their car. Only way your insurance will be more than your car is if your car is paid off. That's what I think. Because guess what? You don't have a car payment. So no matter what you pay in insurance, it makes sense. Actually, you know what? I want to still talk about prices going up.
What prices?
The fact that women's NCAA Final Four, congratulations, you
We'll get that on sports, but congratulations. We got one more topic that we want to get
into. We're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about how I am so excited for women's sports on that aspect.
But if you guys want to know what this next topic is, make sure you stay tuned.
Hey, you. Me? Yes, you. What up? Are you ready to take your brand to the next level? Hell yeah! GLM Designs can help you with just that. Word? From laptop skins? You lying! Promotional flyers? Yo, son! Promo videos? I need that! OBS Twitch overlays and backgrounds. Hey, yo, let me get that! Professional one-sheets and so much more. Oh my God. Please visit our website, I'm on it right now. GottaLoveMeWorld.com today to check out our designs. Get it! Follow us on social media at Gotta Love Me World. Follow it! GLM Designs are here to take care of all your graphic needs.
And welcome back, folks. Welcome back. Brand new episode of PD&J. What's good today? I'm your host, Jay.
And I'm your host, Opening Day. Wait, I'm not Opening Day. It's not my name. Oh, I'm Pocket. That's right. But it's Opening Day. I'm going to keep saying that all show. It's Opening Day. Opening Day.
If y'all don't know what he's talking about or referring to for opening day, he's referring to baseball.
And if you want to understand, like, why is this guy talking baseball? It's the word. Because ever since I was a little boy, my dad would take me to opening day. And it was the greatest experience. Even if the Orioles lost, it was always a great experience.
I actually told my pops the other day, we were talking, and I asked him, I said, have you gone to a professional baseball game before? He's like, nah, I really don't even like baseball. I said, it's actually more exciting being there in person than actually watching it on TV. Is kind of boring.
But you know what? Today, I watched my Orioles, well, kind of in the background while I was working. And the changes they made to the game.
We'll cover that in sports.
I just want to say that the changes they make to the game
Makes the game
is very impactful for even the young, up-and-coming
generation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So.
And we'll talk about the changes and everything later. But
this is what I want to talk about right now. There's a video that's being circulating right now, and probably after this segment, it's probably going to end up going viral. But this young lady finds out that her boyfriend for years.
Oh, her husband.
Oh, was it a husband? I thought it was boyfriend.
No, they were married.
Okay, so they were married. I don't know how long they were married for, but turned out and came out and said that he's bisexual. Well, an argument pursued. She wanted him out, so on and so forth. To make a long story short, she ended up, well, I don't know because the video blacks out. I'm not going to say for sure if it was her or not.
It was her.
Well,
it was her. And you can't even say you don't know because we know in speculation.
I heard two female voices though.
Yeah, it was her. It was the mother-in-law who was there for the kid to come get the kids while he was getting his stuff out. And her, because if you listen to you heard two female, you heard one female voices, oh my God, don't shoot me, and ran out the door. She ran out the door to get help. And then of course you hear her saying, oh, it was a mistake and also there's bull. And if you go back before that, you hear her completely say, murder scene, pow! And then the children are in the house. They see this. You hear the little girl screaming, my daddy, my daddy. Oh my God, he's dead. What did you do? All because he came out as bisexual. He didn't want to be with her anymore.
Why do we bring this up?
We're going to go back to last year too. Right? We want to talk about that one. Last year, OnlyFans woman has been seen publicly beating on her boyfriend. Kills her. Ends up going down, having her father pick her up. Police didn't press charges for a couple of days. And who knows? You know what's funny? That's actually been brushed under the rug, hasn't it? We haven't heard anything about it.
A lot of things have been brushed under the rug.
But that one in particular, because it was so publicly talked about, and all of a sudden now we don't hear anything about it. It's two. And there's a third one. A little bit more. Girl sets the guy up. Because he didn't want to be with her. Sets him up. Says, okay, let's talk about this. Gets him into a quote unquote private space. Pow. Once again, what is so hard about taking an L, a loss, swallowing your so-called pride and walking away? Somebody doesn't be with you, let them be. They don't want to be with you. So now you have, in one aspect, some children that have no parents now. None. Because you're going behind bars and you killed their father. The other one, we don't know the outcome. I've been literally trying to find out what happened with this OnlyFans chick. I have not seen anything, and that bugs me.
I don't think she's probably gone to trial yet.
But either way, what I'm talking about, they pressed charges, but did she go behind bars? Did she even get behind bars? Or did they just, have the hearing and let her go? Like, just things like that. That's what I'm talking about. We don't know. There was a bail thing. Don't know. Can't find anything. Maybe I'm not looking hard enough or whatever. I don't care. Somebody look it up and send it to us. And then the third one, yes, everybody involved with that one is in jail, awaiting trial. But it goes back to say, women, I hate to say this, when it comes to finding a mate, y'all have it a lot easier than a man. And there's no doubt about that. Y'all have it a hell of a lot easier because women are more, everything is sex-centric towards a woman. And you cannot disagree with that. Everything is sex-centric towards them. What I mean is, everywhere you look, it's a scantily clad woman or, a woman walking. What is it?
Or it's the opposite of the LGBTQ community, but whatever. That's the whole.
Well, yeah, exactly. Or you got women being pushed down your throat. Even if you don't like women, you still got to push down your throat. Everywhere you turn, TV, movies, sports commercials, they're being shoved down your throat. So that's what you see. So obviously, men are going to look at women. It happens. What chemical imbalance is going on where you feel like somebody doesn't want you? I need to kill you. You don't want me. Ain't nobody gonna have you. Is that what we're at today? Are we going pre-caveman? I don't know. Are we going Black Widow status? Or we're gonna what is that other animal that eats their mate? The female eats the male. Like, is that what we're going now? We're going down this road? Let's be honest with each other. It's not. I want to say it's not that serious, but I guess it is. It really is. If you're sitting there killing somebody because they don't want to be with you. Somebody say they don't want to be with you. You know what? Okay. Is there anything I did, or is it just you don't want to be with me? Oh, if that's the way it is, okay. Well, you know what? Go about your business. Get what you got to do. Do what you got to do.
You and I look at things like that, but not today's person.
Not everybody from today's person. There's quite a few that do, but there's some that don't.
Yeah.
There's some that don't. And I see what you're saying. But my whole thing is, make it make sense for me. Make it make sense why somebody needs to end their life because somebody doesn't want to be with them. Make it make sense. Please, if you can, please do it.
Till death do us part, mother.
Well, when you now here's I'm glad you mentioned that. Because have you ever heard the term "I'm dead inside"?
Yeah.
That's a death to you. That really is. I am dead inside towards you. That basically means everything's dead. Can you bring it back to life? You're not Jesus. That's my answer. Sucks. Yeah. Because what I want people to understand is when you take these vows and because honestly, the one thing I don't want people to do is try to debate me on the Bible because I got a lot of history with it. A lot more than I know of.
I'm going to bring somebody on the show just to do that.
Don't do that to them.
I want to bring somebody on the show just to do that to you.
Actually, you do that, and I have a case of Michelob Ultra sitting here for you for that whole conversation.
Because all I'm going to do is sit back and drink and watch. That's all I'm going to do.
Because I want to tell people with the Bible and with God in general, what he gave us is our own freedom of choice. So we're free to choose to believe in him. We're free to choose whatever we do in life. But You forgot about a little thing behind that freedom of choice. The consequences that come with it. So
good
make
or
a
bad,
choice.
I always tell my kids this too. Growing up, you're going to make decisions. Whether they're good or bad decisions, there's always going to be a consequence for it. A good consequence or a bad consequence. Either way, you reap what you sow. Period, point blank. Some of us has made decisions. I've made decisions that, hey, I've thought and I've gotten away with it. No.
It came back to bite you in the ass.
Yes.
Here's another thing I want people to understand: the golden rule. People like to live by that. Little people don't know that's
no. A lot of people like to say they live by that, but do they honestly live by the golden rule?
I'm playing the advocate of listening right now of what people do. Not what they say, but what people do. So we're going to say they do. Although we can see differently, and we will talk. We'll go back to that after we say this. But
after you say this, don't put words in my mouth.
People go by the golden rule, but do you know that's a biblical sense? Even the people that are the religious agnostic people, or my people that don't believe in religion. Okay, fine. You want to live by a golden rule that's from the Bible. So what does that say about you? You have some sort of connection to a religion that you don't want to acknowledge, which is fine. Because what do we say? What do I say? I don't care. I listen to everyone. I don't judge anybody because you don't go to church. But I tell you what, don't come at me, which that's a whole other show, which we're going to talk about real soon. Because it needs to be brought to attention of the whole how the world has turned now. How everything's flipped, where it's not cool to be a Christian. It's not cool to say you're God-fearing. It's not, none of that's cool anymore. Now, let's talk about the other people. The ones that say they live by the golden rule. And we can clearly see
that you don't.
Why am I laughing? Because I see people.
Okay, so that we got a comment that came in, and I'm going to post this as a valid comment. It's valid. She says, I don't condone violence at all, but coming from a woman's standpoint, certain women snap, especially if your life is put in jeopardy, meaning HIV or AIDS. She kind of has a point. Meaning that
so
at the end of the day,
somebody.
And she doesn't, and like she said, she doesn't condone violence, but coming from a woman, she's saying, hey, I don't want to be subject to any of these diseases that's out there. You're going around sleeping with somebody and not letting me know about it. Blase, 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 blah. You know that stuff.
Okay, so and to combat that, you go to work, you're in the break room, you go home, you test positive for COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to go kill that person? Are you going to go try and hunt down and kill the person that was in the break room that had COVID?
You know, when COVID first came out, it's funny that you bring that up. Because when COVID first came out, there was a story behind that in Vegas when I lived there. That did happen.
That's why I brought it up. That's why I exactly brought it up. Because remember, we actually did talk about that. Because you were saying, man, did you hear about this? And I was like, no, I didn't. I went back and we talked about the article. Because, again, not saying it's right. Not saying it's right at all. Not saying it's right at all. But people, what happened? Here's how our lives are ruined. Once Grand Theft Auto came out.
Okay, never mind. Here's a question that I have for you.
You know what? But you know I'm right. That's why you told me never mind.
Here's a honest question that I have for you, and probably gonna ruffle some feathers when I ask this question here.
Do anything, man?
Yeah, you might want to. What gender tends to overreact the most?
What gender?
Yeah.
You're gonna hate when I say this, but I'm gonna say the males.
Okay, so she said, COVID is different. You don't know who you may have gotten it from versus someone that you love and trusted.
But you trust the people on your job to make good decisions.
Not the same way. Not the same way that you
I
trust
hate
your
to tell
loved
you.
one.
I hate to tell you, if
You
you
spend more time with them, yeah.
So I'll tell you this. You're telling me not the same way. So you're telling me I shouldn't go to work. And if I can't trust that people are making better decisions at work, just like my spouse is supposed to make decisions, if I can't trust them to make decisions at work, why the hell work for that company?
Do you trust your coworkers?
I've left my wallet on the ground and didn't know it. And my coworkers brought it to me.
Then you work for a good company. Because there's some companies that's out there where you can't trust nobody.
But there are no,
especially if you work in the sales commission only.
And you know what? I'm glad you mentioned that because I agree with you on that. But I also look at the employees around.
Yeah.
How happy are they? They aren't. They got money. They don't care.
When you say he's got a point, who do you mean he? You mean me? Because I'm your favorite?
You're not her favorite, dude. She gave me 3 hearts.
So what does that mean?
I mean, I'm the favorite.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
We're not going to do this.
Oh, yeah, we are.
Oh, okay. Well, we can do this, sucker.
Mama, I got your Easter gift.
I don't like you right now. Get out of my camera view.
Ain't nothing but family on this show. I'm taking over now.
Okay, so there that kind of is piggybacking off of what our other guest said. You can't trust no one, but you should be able to trust your spouse. There's some there are certain spouses that can't be trusted. Just like you cannot trust that gnat that's bugging your ear, thinking that it's not going to sting you. You know what I mean?
Well, first, a gnat can't sting. Okay.
So,
I was saying a gnat can't sting. So if a gnat is stinging you, I don't know what kind of gnat you're dealing with. But I agree with you. But here's the thing is, and I'm just playing the opposite side. Not saying I agree. I'm not saying I disagree. I'm playing the opposite side because we got to have two sides.
Yeah, you got to play devil's advocate. I get that.
So now in saying this and playing devil's advocate on this, you marry that person.
Like I tell my wife, she calls me crazy all the time. I say, you're just as crazy as I am. She says, no, I'm not. Or crazier. Yeah. She's like, no, I'm not. I said, you married me.
Which is still debatable.
You better watch what comes out your mouth next.
I mean, because I understand there's alcohol involved. It was a nice party and, things like that. And then the rings. And then y'all came, hey, I'm married. Oh, okay, y'all married. Wait a minute, y'all married? No, it wasn't like it was alcohol involved, and there's a lot of love involved, but a lot of alcohol
and a lot of love
and more alcohol.
With some more love. Yeah, that was our wedding, all right. Yep.
But being honest with everybody, you gotta look at it like this. There is no right answer for this. It really isn't. There is no wrong answer. There's a lot of wrong answers, but there is no right answer for taking somebody's life, and we can all agree on that. Now, to go back and say, why is Pocket speaking like that? Because I'm trying to bring you what the other side is going to say, what they are saying, what they are combating with. Well, you got to trust people this way. You got to trust people this way. Right? There's people in your family you don't even trust.
Exactly.
And you don't. If you don't believe me, how many people have that one relative you don't trust around your kids?
Or better yet, how many people? I go by saying of this: just because your blood don't make you family.
And people just will say that.
Think about that. Just because your blood doesn't make you family. Now family will stab you in the back.
Here's an incident I forgot to send you, and I forgot about this. It's sad, but it's funny. So this lady had a dream that her husband cheated.
And I sent
that to you, right?
Yeah. Okay.
She stabbed the man 3 times in the back. She went to jail, and he said, I don't want to press charges because it's just a dream. Okay, Tina Turner Nike. Okay, Tina Nike. What in the world's going on in that house? Were you having dreams that you just think is real?
What medication or weed is she smoking?
No, what medication do she need?
Hey, if you had a very lucid dream or a very vivid dream to where you thought you were lucid and shit was real, You was on something.
Mm-hmm.
You was on something.
Now, all right. Now I think we beat up on the women.
Let's beat up on the
men. Unfortunately, and I realize that now. Now let's bring up the men incidents.
Men are just. Can a man be just as nutty as a woman, if not more?
Oh, you know what? You asked me a question about which sex is more,
and you said male,
and I said male.
Yeah.
Now we're going to expound on that, right? We're going to expound on that.
Okay,
we're going to expound on that. So, men, now you patted your, gorilla bumped your chest and all that stuff. Let's talk about y'all. Let's talk about us.
We're the most arrogant, most self-centered, more egotistical.
Okay, when you say trophy, what's the word that comes right out of your mouth afterward?
Wife.
When you think about,
we're self-centered. Yeah. We're very self-centered.
Now, remember, I asked you about this, and I forgot to write it down.
Okay.
So there was a report that came out, or someone asked.
My mom agrees with us.
The 5 things that a man should always do in a relationship.
Take out the trash, pump the gas, mow the lawn, service the car,
change the tire,
and change the tire. That's my 5 things right there. That's my 5.
When a man is involved with a female, right? Now, I said we're gonna beat up on men, but I can't just leave that there.
You gotta finish beating up on it because we kind of
all right.
We
so
kind of
let's keep going down that road. So now, in saying that, in this generation, how many men
actually do that?
I wouldn't even say that. Can change a tire. We're gonna break them down each one.
Oh, Sugarfoot.
How many men can change a tire? That's one. What was the other one you said? Take out the trash. How many men actually do take out the trash a majority of the time?
I see. I do it occasionally in my house. I'll speak for me and I'll throw myself under the bus. I do it occasionally, but that's because I got grown boys in my house, so they take out the trash.
And what's funny, I think, and that's where I'm with you on that. You got teenagers in your goddamn house. You got kids in your house. They should be taking out the trash. We're not being told. But for some reason, they can't do it at home, but they can do it in school. Okay, there we go. I got out the soapbox. Now, there was a lot to say in a little bit. I was take out the trash. What was it? Servicing the car. So that doesn't mean necessarily you're servicing it. You could be taking it in for service because I hate to say it, I don't like to see women taking cars in for service because it seems like to me when they take a car in for service, they get told stuff that don't even make sense.
Okay.
Oh, you took my thunder and we're going to come to that one because that's number 1 on my, you're going to come to that one. Let's take that down. We're going to come back to it. I'm going to tell you when.
No, I'm not taking it down.
Leave it there. Okay, we're going to leave it there. Now, pump the gas. I don't know how many times when me and my wife are going somewhere and she tries to get like, just give it here. I'm already getting out. Oh, okay. Because to me, it doesn't look right. If a man is in a car and the woman gets out to pump the gas, I don't care. You young boys out there that sit there, got your seat all the way back where you're touching the ground, where your tippy toes are touching the ground and you're relaxing. You need to get your ass up and pump the gas. There's no way if she's driving you everywhere, and I'm not saying that that happens all the time, but I'm saying if she's driving, even if she's not driving and you're driving, you should be the one getting out pumping the damn gas. Now, when my wife was pregnant, this was the weirdest thing. She said, I love the smell of gas.
The smell of gas. You know what? I've heard that too. I've heard that. No, I'll give you one deeper. With my oldest son's mom, she liked to suck on rocks. And the doctor said that there's iron in proteins that they get from that only a woman. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know. But yeah, she used to suck rocks.
I ain't ready yet.
Oh man. But yeah, I've heard of that. They like the smell of gas or the smell of paint.
I'm still not ready yet. I'm not.
What is it? The smell of gas, smell of paint. They suck on sand and rocks.
I'll tell you what. If we ever go on Patreon, We'll get into more detail about that. What the hell is wrong with that? There's just so much wrong.
From sand.
No wonder she's your ex. Sucking rocks.
Yes.
Anyway, let's put the comment back up. This one right here. Forget taking out the trash about being emotionally supportive. I wish there was like, you know how they had on Sesame Street words of the day and then you pop it up and then emotionally supportive. To me, in this day and age, that should be paramount for both men and women. Chivalry's not dead, at least it shouldn't be. I agree. But what happened was we got a generation of women that have listened to Destiny's Child. We got a generation of women that listen to Meg Thee Stallion, Cardi B. Help me out. Who was the other ones?
I'm just going
Ice Spice.
I'm just going to get straight to the point. How can you say that you're so much of an independent woman that you don't need a man, but yet you want a man? How does that work? Help me help you. How does that help it make sense to me?
Now, I want to flip it for a minute. We talk about men, and it seems like we keep creeping back to women. Let's stay with the men here. Now, with the men,
starting to have their standards too. Oh, Glorilla.
Jesus, will you stop? I was trying to stay away from that one because woo! I feel like Ric Flair right now.
Oh man.
I'm trying to. It seems like
y'all don't want him to behave today. Apparently,
y'all don't want me to be even keeled. I get it. Y'all want me to stay with that because it's very impactful, and I know. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to go back to the men for a second here, and then we're going to jump back over to the women, since that seems where everybody's trying to push me over there, right?
No, now you're pushing yourself there.
Bro. No, because Glorilla, that was it right there. That went over there. Now, men, here's the thing. We feed into it.
We do.
What do you mean, man? I don't. Yes, you do. Subliminally, you feed into these messages because you hear it, and then guess what? You'll see a group of women together, and instead of approaching them, nah, they ain't rejecting me. Oh, I forgot about TLC, but that's a whole other thing. Nah, now, no, oh no, oh I like. Oh, Shorty, she looks pretty good. I wonder if she's interested. I'll just sit here and look at her. Now you're a creeper. I'm gonna sit here and stare at her and see if she sees me looking at her. While she's telling her friends, "You see that idiot over there looking at me? If he likes me, why don't he say something? Oh, look at his forehead or his forehead or whatever you want to say about it. Oh, his shoes look busted. Why am I saying that? Because men, if you're going to do those things, make sure you're on your P's and Q's. Make sure you're looking your Sunday best, your Easter Sunday best. Actually, let me take that back. If y'all go out there wearing them damn zoot suits with the damn the chain, with the Stacey Adams shoes, go sit your ass at home. Have your own style. Set yourself apart, but be respectful. Because we got a whole bunch of boys right now that don't know how to be men. Why? Because their father, who they think is their father, is sitting on that TV. They're looking at Lil Wayne. They're looking at Drake. Well, actually, Drake kind of honed it in. I think he doesn't really be disrespectful towards women per se. He's a smart man, and we'll explain that one day. He's going to tell you how smart he is. But stop listening to this trap music, thinking that's what's going to get you the girl that you want anyway. The girl that you want ain't that.
Some men like that type of woman, and that's a whole nother conversation.
And that's the ones, and those are the ones get shot by your wife. Get shot because you've been set up. Get jumped. And you want me to keep going? You want me to keep going? Or should I stop there? Because I think I kind of put them on notice. I'm putting you on notice because stop being a boy and be a man. Stop being a follower. Don't follow everything. Before you follow something, research it. If you're unsure of something, talk to somebody. If you're going to have the role model, although I didn't understand why Charles Barkley said this back in the day, I kind of see what he was leading to. I ain't your role model is what he said. Your father's your role model, your grandfather, all those male figures, Marcus Garvey, Muhammad Ali, Martin Luther King, those are your role models, not me. I'm just trying to live my life. I'm trying to do what I do. And I understand what he's saying, but of course, hindsight 2020, people still looked up to him. People still looked up to the athletes, and they still do. But at the same time, don't model yourself after the trap superstar, because guess what? He's still living in the trap. I hate to tell you. And he ain't going to live for so long.
Certain people want that lifestyle, though. And if that's what they like, to each its own. They like it, I love it. You know, I do my own thing.
I tell you what. You can like it all you want. They can love it all they want. But I'm here to tell you the narrative needs to change.
I definitely agree with that.
The narrative needs to change. We have to be a better steward of ourselves, of our species. What do I mean species? I'm talking the human species. We get what happened to that? We need to have expectations of each other and what we are, what we both need. Communication is key. We need to have real expectations. I left that word out, real expectations. And that is where it comes into finding your balance. What's funny to me, I remember seeing some, coming back on the women, I've seen things massive, subjugated all over the place. And what I mean by that is I've seen things talking about, you know what? I'm done settling. I'm done this. I hate to tell you, at some point in life, you have to settle for the lesser of two evils. And then figure out how to work with what you have and decide if you want to build. But you have to settle for the lesser two evils. It's not about, because what's funny to me, I think almost every 25-year-old female and under has a freaking OnlyFans. I keep hearing it all over the place. Don't you? You hear it all over the place. They have all these.
I haven't heard about OnlyFans in a minute. I thought that wave is kind of going down. That's what I thought, because I haven't heard about it in a minute.
I think you're right with that. But what I'm saying is, because I go back and obviously I'm a steward of watching poet podcasts to see the subjects they talk about, see how they talk about it. And what's happening is they're realizing that their value, they've devalued themselves doing this. Well, what else did you think would happen when you started putting your goodies out all over the place? Do you think some grown man was like, oh, I want to be with you. I got to have you. And yeah, they got to have you until you find out how crazy they are.
Now, I want to change subject just a little bit, kind of lighten up but we're going to stay on the topic of women. I got to give a shout out to the National Women's Soccer League, the WNBA, but most importantly, the NCAA Women's Tournament. They are playing ball, bro. Have you seen?
Actually, no, you didn't even give them the whole justification. National Women's Soccer League. I want to start with that. They had a sellout. They standing room only. First time ever for opening day. Women's NCAA tournament. I touched on this earlier. Their tickets are going higher than the men's.
Their projection is actually going to be more televised. There's going to be more televised views on this one than the men's tournament that's projected. Actually, and I see why.
Actually, let's take it back. Let's talk about 2013. Remember we talked about this. University of Connecticut Huskies against Notre Dame. We're talking about women's. There was 3 million views on that game.
They're projecting 5.
Exactly. They're projecting at 5 or more. It could be doubled on the women's tournament games right now. We want to know why? Because people are getting sick and tired of the flopping from the men's, the complaining and the braggadocious and all that stuff like that. Now, I want to stay there and talk about NCAA, and I'm going to tie it to WNBA. Now, when the WNBA come on and said they want to be treated fairly, they want to be treated like the men, people are like, y'all don't even, the NBA is giving y'all money. That's not what they're talking about. They're talking about the percentage of revenue. They're not talking about actual pay, because that'll happen maybe, let's say 15 years, maybe 15, 20 years down the road, maybe, depending on what happens, how people want to accept it and evolve with it. 15, 20 years. Could be sooner. with the way things happen. I mean, because things happen all the time, negotiations, all that stuff. Nobody thought the WNBA would last this long. I myself, I know you do too. We love going to those games because you know what? They do the fundamentals. They still do the fundamentals. Yeah, they have some women out there that come out there. They got more swag than a little bit. They got more swag than the least swag person in the NBA. Not saying they can beat them in basketball, but they have more swag, and I like it. Now, for you couch potatoes, tomatoes, what's another word for them? Couch coaches, keyboard gangsters. I'm sick of you. All they do is downplay the league. You know what? They need to be in the kitchen barefoot and pregnant and cooking and cleaning. You know what? I bet you would not tell that to their face. And even if you did, you still wouldn't get on the basketball court and do it because they would run circles around you. There's a lot of these women out here that are extremely competitive.
Some of them are more talented than some men that's playing in the NBA right now.
Well, I wouldn't say. I think the worst NBA player would still beat the best WNBA player. It's just there's no physical way for that not to happen.
But what if it does happen?
It wouldn't, because all it takes is him backing down into the post, and what is she going to do? There's I love to watch Angel Reese. I love her swag. Plus, she's from Baltimore. Shout out to Angel Reese. I love her swag. I love what she brings to the game. And then the referees don't know what to do with her, which is the funniest thing in the world. They were giving so many calls against her till they realized they got together. Let's just back up. She's bringing a thing to this game that we haven't seen. Same thing with South Carolina, which, again, Final Four. I'm telling you now, tune in to watch South Carolina and LSU.
Yeah.
South Carolina and Iowa.
But my projection, I'm glad
South Carolina and LSU. That's my projection, too.
Yeah,
I was that's my projection. But I'm saying tune in to South Carolina, Iowa. We got Caitlin.
I got to give it up for the coach for South Carolina. Who's their coach? It's not Dominique
Staley.
Dawn Staley. I knew I was going to.
I followed her back when she was in college.
Dawn Staley, I salute you. What you have done with the University of South Carolina women's basketball team over the past 5 years, and that's not even going back all the way to your track history. I'm just saying the past 5 years, you created a beast there. They set the bar.
No. Now you're reaching. The bar was set by UConn.
I get that, but
UConn. They're talking modern day. UConn still till this past weekend, they've made Elite Eight 16 times, unheard of. 16 straight years, unheard of. Elite Eight, unheard of. But they never lost.
USC is on a 41-game win streak.
Yeah, but UConn has this record at 82.
Okay,
so that's what I'm saying. The standard. UConn is still the standard, no matter what you say. Gino Auriemma is the standard.
Do you think that USC
no, they're not going
to set the bar?
No.
Do you think they can hit that record?
No, because here's the thing. What people are failing to realize, UConn has another class coming in.
Yeah, that's the beast.
And then you got Paige Buchers, who's going to be healthy. And you know what? If these names don't resonate with you, that means you need to open your eyes and watch. If we're saying names that you have never heard before, go watch the game and you'll understand. I wish, and I don't know about you, I wish we would not have lost Kobe and his daughter, because I had a feeling Gigi was the evolution of Kobe in female. We would have seen some balling. And I think she was going to go to UConn.
Yeah, she was going to.
And so there's things that
she wanted to play for UConn.
So what I'm saying is, and it goes back to men, y'all want these women, but you don't support them. You hear that? You hear that? It's completely quiet. You want these women, but you don't support them. You want to talk about them, but not look at what they're doing. You want to degrade them. You want to talk bad about them. You want to talk about this, that, and other, but you do not really support women. Do you go to women's sports? Do you support anything female? Probably not. You wonder why? Because you're so busy being mad at yourself that you're taking out on them. Oh, I went there. I was not going there. I definitely was not meant to go there.
But you did.
No, I was not meant to go there. Not celebrating women, or was I?
I can't stand you sometimes. But shout out to the women's basketball tournament. Their game, the Final Four for the women's basketball tournament actually starts tomorrow on Friday. So tune in. I believe the first game starts about 4:00. So tune in, watch that. Watch both of the games. See, and then the championships game is going to be on Sunday. For the men's Final Four, that's going to be on Saturday. The championship game is going to be on Monday. Just to speak on it, I think Miami might have a chance of winning the tournament this year.
What Miami?
Miami, the Hurricanes, the men's.
You talking about the men?
Yeah,
There's another team out there called UConn
yeah.
that is playing the best offense and defense.
And they're both going to play each other on Saturday. So my prediction is whoever wins between that game is actually going to win it all. I would like to see the underdog of Miami win, though, if that makes sense.
I'm not with Miami. I'm not. I'm pushing for UConn because I always like that program. I like the professionalism of that program. I like the NBA players they pull out of that program. I mean, mind you, nobody's a loser in this one. You're in the Final Four. So nobody's a loser. And I'm proud to say that none of the championship #1 seeds made it.
None of the projection teams that were supposed to make it made it. So, well, some people did have UConn as a favorite to go into it. Not that many, but some people did. They were a favorite. So I think that's the only favorite out of the whole Final Four.
That's because that's the last of blue bloods.
Yeah.
That's the last of blue bloods, UConn. So do I think I'm glad to see that. I'm glad to see new blood. But you know what? We didn't talk about that. We never talked about this at all. How the NIL may have made parity between college sports in the men's side, not necessarily the women's, but the men's side. My thought on that is, I like it. There's more parity because people now can go to their home states. They can stay home and play there if they get the NIL deals. Now with the women, I just think they're going to go. It's because when you look at it, it's who's the hot team right now. That's what women's is. That's where these girls are going to go. They start building pipelines. They start networking. Because with men's, you never really had to network. You could literally play in the McDonald's Classic and the AAU Classics, and then you built a friendship or two. But then you always have it on your mind. I'm going there. I'm good. I don't want to go there. I'm going to go to Florida State. What? They're not a powerhouse, but yeah, there's more opportunity there. Okay, I can start right away. Because that's why Kentucky, people talk about Kentucky. That's why people don't go there anymore, because they realize, think about this. Devin Booker was a bench player on Kentucky. People don't realize that. On that squad, look at that squad right now. It had Anthony Davis, it had Devin Booker, it had I can't even think everybody was on that squad. But looking at that squad, Booker was on the bench. I mentioned him because guess what? He's here in Phoenix. He's a superstar. He's actually the leader of this team. Think about all that talent that gets wasted just waiting for an opportunity. So what are these guys doing? The transfer portal that opens up. You got people just going. Where are they going to let me make an impact? Where are they going to let me come on and make an impact? Do I disagree? At one time, I felt like Nick Saban for about 10 seconds, and I said, you know what? No, I like that parody. There's actually some breaking news right now. This is what happens when you go long. You get stuff like this.
Out of St. Petersburg, Florida, I hate to break it to you, but Amber Alert was issued for a missing 2-year-old boy whose mother was found dead in a Florida apartment today. And this is in St. Petersburg, Florida. Wow. Just a lot going on right now. And we were just sitting back talking about loving on one another, loving your kids, loving your spouse.
Or if you don't love him, then walk the hell away.
Then walk the hell away.
Just leave, please.
Now, and this is a black kid, African American kid. The mother's name is Taylor Mosley.
Patient. Where's it?
No.
Patient Jeffrey.
No. So
Taylor Mosley is the black male.
It's the son. It's
Yeah.
the son. Taylor Mosley is the son that's missing right now. The mom's name Passion Jackson or Jeffrey. I'm sorry, Passion Jeffrey, 20 years old, was found dead at 2:30 Eastern Standard Time this afternoon. So, and that's all the news that we have coming out right now. We're still waiting for updates, but my heart goes out to that. I wonder, and we were just talking about if you don't love them, leave them or let them go, right? Is this one of those situations that we were just talking about?
Well, you know what? Here's like I said, I'm playing the other side.
Okay.
So how do we know she didn't tell the baby daddy that you can't see your son? And he just took that as, you know what? If I can't see him, you can't have him.
That could be an aspect. Yeah. I can see that happening, but do we know?
We don't. No, what I just said.
Yeah.
I'm just playing that other side. Not saying I agree with any. Like I said, there is not. The only way I agree with somebody being in their life taken, if they're breaking your house and they're in there, they're not supposed to be in there. No, they break in your house. Okay, so you must have a death wish. You breaking in my house, you got a death wish.
That's just sad, though.
But that's the only reason why I've taken like if your life is. If you're in danger, somebody breaks in your house or you're in danger or something like that, that's the only way I see. Self-defense is the only way I see if it's no other option. But again, now we're in a situation is we don't know. Just speculating on what usually is the wrong way to think about it, but somebody may have taken this child. And there's
still a lot of questions that we have that we're hoping that we get more information on. I'm going to keep following this story. And definitely look forward to next week's episode just to see if we have an update in regards to this. But yeah, there's a 2-year-old boy that's missing in St. Petersburg, Florida.
Just get him home.
So any of our viewers that's listening, that are watching, that are in the St. Petersburg, Florida area, keep an eye out.
And they said it was an apartment complex.
Apartment complex.
So all right, let's. Somebody knows something. Somebody knows who took him in the apartment. Like, there's always a nosy neighbor. I don't care who you are. There's always a nosy neighbor somewhere. Whoever you are, nosy neighbor, speak the hell up, please. This child is only 2. He's already without his mother. We don't know who. We don't know why. We don't know how and what happened. We just want him found and taken care of. I can't. As much as I don't want to be negative, because I'm usually the positive one, I don't see anything positive coming out of this one.
Don't say that.
I don't see anything positive.
Don't say that. Don't say that. Well, folks, hate to end the show like this, but we have some work that we need to do. We need to look into this and figure out what's going on. So until next week, folks.
And we'll be back on our normal day.
Next Wednesday.
At our normal time.
5 p.m.
Doing our normal antics. Because it's no longer opening day. However,
I'm going to fight this man next week.
However, I just want to say this for the record. And we're going to put this on the record. The Yankees suck.
Hold on now. You're definitely about
Have a good weekend.
No, hold the fuck on. We definitely about to fight on that one. How dare you say that the Yankees suck? Yankees got more wins than the damn Orioles do.
We actually have a